In today's session of Divorce Court, James saw in Lisa a woman he could trust and fall in love with. And after 5 months of dating, he worshiped the ground she walked on and married her. But after only 8 months of marriage, James says Lisa has broken his heart.
I've given 110% to this marriage. I waited 38 years to get married, and she does that to me.
What about this man that you had the affair with?
He was a one-night stand and a mistake.
Oh.
You have no idea what the vows of marriage mean.
This is your third marriage?
2 other marriages failed? Maybe it wasn't them. Maybe it's you.
She says, I'm willing to work on it. You said I'm willing to work on it. Then why are you people standing here?
You're making me feel like the bad guy, and that's BS.
Today, Lisa Wetzel and James Wetzel face off in divorce court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Mablean Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of James Wetzel versus Lisa Wetzel. Mr. Wetzel, why are you here today?
We're here, Your Honor, because my wife cheated on me, and she's making me out to be the bad guy for her indiscretion.
How is she making you out to be the bad guy?
Because I can't get over it. She feels that I should be able to get over it.
Oh, she thinks she cheated on you and you ought to be able to get over it?
Yes, ma'am.
And stay with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, why do you think he should be able to get over it?
I can. That's why I came clean to him, is so we can work on it.
Why did you have an affair with someone else and you were married to Mr. Wetzel?
He was
After
on
3 months.
He was on the road.
After 3 months?
Yes, ma'am. I was on the road working.
And he told me he wanted a divorce, so I figured the marriage was
No,
over.
I didn't say divorce. I said we'll file papers if we can't get through our problems.
Which means a divorce.
Yeah, well, you didn't even know. File papers doesn't mean divorce. It means file, and then we'll try to work on it.
Did you tell her it was
You went
over?
from the phone call to the bedroom. Our bed with somebody
Mr.
else.
Wetzel. So why did you have an affair on him?
He told me the marriage was over. I figured it was over.
If he said go file for divorce, he didn't say go sleep with somebody.
Exactly. Thank you, Your Honor.
It was a mistake. I do regret it. And I am sorry.
But it's my fault that I can't get over
I have put
it?
it past me.
You
But obviously
broke
he
the
can't.
vows of marriage, the sanctity of marriage. You broke the vows.
But obviously you can't, he
But
can't
if
put it
she
past
asked you
him.
to forgive her, you can't,
he
and you
can't.
want.
I have forgiven her, but I can't forget about it.
So who filed for this divorce?
She did.
I did.
Because
So-
I can't get over her sleeping with somebody else.
And I'm tired of being treated like a child.
So in your mind, the relationship was over.
Right.
So you
I
felt
came
that you
home and
then
we
were free to
worked
do
on it.
whatever
I
you wanted to
couldn't
do.
find it, the affection from him. All I
I'm
was
giving you
getting
nothing
from
but
him,
affection.
He was
all
on
I
the road.
All I was getting from him when he was home, though, is a messy house, kids hungry.
That's what you were getting, or that's what he was complaining
Who doesn't
about.
feed the
Asleep on
kids?
the
Who feeds
couch.
the feed kids dinner?
Asleep on the
I'm
couch.
the one that cooks the meals at that house. You don't cook. You can't cook. You go out till 3:30 in the morning without the kids having a babysitter?
My oldest is there.
Your oldest is 13 years
So the
old. and he
problem
has
then
deficiencies.
is a lot of things. It's not just the fact that she cheated on you, because now she's not a good cook. She doesn't take care of the children. You're saying she's not a good mother.
I'm not
She's
saying
not
she's
a
not
good
a good mother,
housekeeper.
That's what
but
you just
she's
said.
bringing up. She's
That's
bringing up
what you
that I
just
don't.
said, that I
bring up
wasn't
the
a good
fact-
mother.
I didn't say that.
You
Those
said
words
she's
didn't
out
come
at
out of
3
my mouth.
o'clock in the
I'm
morning.
Stay out
Three
at
o'clock.
3:30 in the morning.
Okay, stop
I'm-
yelling at her and talk to me. How long have you been married?
Didn't ask. We've been married since January 30th of '99.
Just 8 months?
Yes, ma'am.
And you wanted the marriage to work?
Yeah, I waited 38 years to get married. Sure, there's
So
going to be
if you waited
problems. Sure, there's
38
going to
years
be
to get
problems.
married,
Obviously,
it
you
seems
didn't
like
want
you
it
could
to work
take
if you
at
wouldn't have
least
treated
2
me
Stop
like a
years.
to me,
child.
please.
It seems like if you waited 38 years to get married, you could wait another 1-2 years to make the marriage work.
I'm not
Put
the one
some
who filed.
energy
I'm
into
not the
it.
I'm not the one who filed for divorce.
No, but
I
you're
want
the one
this
that
marriage
treats
to
me like
work.
kids.
I want this marriage to work.
And you're the one that,
You're the one
you
that
know-
lies to me and cheated on me. You spread your legs for somebody else,
I
not me.
don't go
Well,
out and
now-
tell you to go to your room, and I don't check caller ID.
Well, you know what?
Are
Maybe
you
if I
willing
wouldn't
to
have
make
to.
the marriage work?
I tried. I
She
can't
didn't
deal
try
with it
worse.
anymore.
In 8 months, how much trying is that?
When-
You barely got to know each other.
I'm tired of walking
That's
on
why our other
eggshells,
two
Your Honor.
marriages failed, because that's
I'm tired of walking on
Did you
eggshells.
know he was that type of man when
No,
you married
he
him?
was not like that when I
He
married him.
never told you. You didn't watch his personality.
He never
and
told
watch
me-
him telling you what people
No.
what to do
She
and
never
how
cheated
to do
on me
things.
while we were
No.
dating, Your Honor.
He never once told me to go to my room. He never once yelled at my children. He loved my children.
I still
Did you
love
hear
your
him yell at
children.
other people?
No. He
Did
was
you hear
calm.
him get angry with anyone else?
No.
When you went out to restaurants, he was never angry?
No, he was very calm, loving,
How long were you around him? A day?
caring. No, I was around him for 5 months.
5 months. What about you? You couldn't tell whether she was the type of woman that would be faithful or loyal? You didn't see any kind of character flaws?
She didn't have any character flaws at that time.
So she was
didn't
perfect
feel
too?
Well, not perfect. Nobody's perfect, Your Honor.
That's what I thought. So why are you all throwing in the towel after 8 months since nobody's perfect?
I don't want to throw in the towel. I want this marriage to work.
Well,
you're going to have problems,
What
sure.
do you think you can do to make the marriage work?
Stop treating me like a kid.
Because she's saying you treat her like a baby.
You downgrade me.
Hold on a second, Ms. Wetzel. She says you treat her like a child. You send her to her room.
I don't treat her like a child. I sent her to her room one time because we were in a massive argument, and I didn't want it to get out of hand.
With my son, and I came between the two of you.
You're not listening to what she's saying.
I do listen.
If you want the marriage to work.
It's not going to be all one-sided, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. I'm talking to you now.
Okay.
If she's saying to you, this is what you do to me, and these are the problems I see coming from your side of the table,
right,
and this is where I need some changes and corrections, are you willing to do it?
Yes, ma'am. And I've told her that. No. And I've told her, but show me when I'm doing these things.
You haven't
she's
tried.
Asking me. She's
you
asking me.
You haven't tried.
How can we? I live in another household.
Well,
that was your choice.
First of all, when she says you treat me like a child, you deny that you do it. So if you don't think that you're doing that.
I told her, show me, tell me when I'm doing this stuff so I can see what supposedly.
After the fact.
Well, after the fact is when you bring it up.
My room.
Yes, I know you sent me to my room.
What he's saying to you, Ms. Wetzel, is, you know what? This part of my character, I'm not really aware of it. So when I do it, tell me so I can do something about it. Say it to me right then.
He was fully aware of when he sent me to my room.
Well, how many times did that happen?
We're talking about one time.
No, we're talking 2, maybe 3 times.
Not even.
And you went?
No.
So
I'm 34 years old.
So
I don't
then
need a
all
father.
he did was said, go to your room, but you didn't go.
No.
Right?
I didn't, and I got shoved into it, though.
Oh, that's a different story.
Yeah, it's a different story.
So when you didn't go, he made you go.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you pushed.
I pushed.
Your weight around.
Literally.
Oh, I have to.
You have to?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, she runs the house. You know, it's not an equal partnership. You know, it's what Lisa wants when she wants it every time. Well, I have my feelings,
right.
my feelings, and what I feel should go work.
You know.
Why don't you let me talk? You know, this is the way it is all the time. This is all the time.
And you know what?
Yap your mouth all the time. You can't shut up for a minute to let anybody else talk.
Not when I know I'm right.
Yeah, you're always right, supposedly. That's why 2 other marriages failed. Maybe it wasn't them. Maybe it's you.
And you have a contribution, too.
Yes, ma'am, I do. I'm not perfect, and I haven't done everything right in this marriage.
You have to push her around?
No, ma'am, I don't. And I told her after the fact that I was really sorry and I should never have done that. And she knows that I meant it. And she knows that I was sincere in my apology.
I wonder
Have you ever done it again?
No, ma'am.
So that was one time?
Yes, ma'am.
One time too many, Your Honor.
Yeah, cheating one time too many.
So you want him to forgive you for cheating, but you don't want him to forgive him for the one-time push?
That's exactly it. She's making me pay for that.
No, because the fact of he was treating me like a child. He is checking caller ID. He's not. He hasn't. Yes,
I never checked your caller ID until after you cheated on me.
But checking caller ID, giving me a curfew at night to come home.
But when he checks the caller ID, is he finding anything?
No.
You're a married woman. You don't need to be out till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
When divorce court returns, James lets Lisa know exactly how he feels.
You're a sacred sanctity of marriage, and you broke your word to God and to our friends and family.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce Court is back in the case of Lisa Wetzel, who says her husband James has ruined their marriage because he can't forget about the affair she had.
We're here because she cheated, and she doesn't feel that she should have to give up the rings. I'm still paying on the rings.
Oh, so you want the rings back?
I want the rings back so I can turn them back in so I don't have to pay for them any longer. You get it off my credit.
You put the rings on the credit?
They're on finance. They're financed.
The wedding ring?
Yes, ma'am, to get my credit worked up, to get my credit built up for the relationship.
But there's sentimental value to me.
Why? Why should it be sentimental value?
Of the good times that we had.
How much were the rings?
I have a receipt right here, Your Honor.
May I see that, Joe?
$373 was total. I owe $279, I believe.
So what you paid, $10 a month?
15.
I also have, basically, yeah.
It's a $15
That's all he could
a month.
afford when he wasn't working.
And I wasn't working because it was our winter time. We were off for the season.
Your Honor, I also have a receipt of the 2 payments that I've done.
I'm doing pretty good without even looking at this. I see you paid $15 a month.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and you now have a balance
of... I made the most of the 2.
You made 2 payments.
I made 2 payments, yeah. But if you look...
If you look at the last 3 payments that I made...
Stop the bickering among yourselves, please. Do that at home. And what do you want to show me?
She's made 2 payments.
I've showed that I've made 2 payments on these.
She also
So 2 of these $15 payments are yours?
No, she made a $19 payment and a $35
I made a
payment.
$35 and $19.48 payment.
Oh, I see that. It's credited. So now you want to keep the rings.
Yeah.
They're not paid for.
So they're mine. They're sentimental value. I've made 2 payments on them.
Unfortunately, they're not yours. They belong to the finance company.
Exactly. That I have to pay for.
I feel like
you didn't honor your vows.
Be quiet, Mr. Betzel.
Somebody wouldn't have told me to go ahead and file.
Oh, there's a reason.
They're not yours. They belong to the finance company.
I'll give them back to the finance company, but I will not give them back to him.
Finance company doesn't want those rings back?
No,
what makes you think they want it back?
I don't feel like he should get them back after the way he's treated me through this marriage.
You slept with somebody else on me. You cheated.
And my children.
Excuse you?
But now my question is, you want to keep the rings.
Yes.
And the finance company wants to be paid. Who's supposed to pay them?
He can. Or we can do it 50-50, like the marriage was supposed to be worked.
Yeah, you're the one who blew that.
Yeah, right.
You're the one who cheated, not me. I'm the one that's trying to work this marriage out. I don't want this divorce.
You're willing to pay
you and your
half?
mother.
Yes, I will pay half.
When did you buy these rings?
January.
Before you married him?
Before we married.
John, he didn't only propose to me with the rings, he also proposed to my kids.
Yeah, and I love your kids, and I do anything for your kids.
Part of my kids.
He proposed to your kids. How he proposed to the children?
I asked their permission to marry their mother.
And that was the last time I go by what my kids say.
That was the last time you'll go by what your kids say?
That's the last time I go by what my kids say.
Well, you shouldn't have been the first time. You let your children convince you to marry this man?
No. My kids, if the man that I thought I was marrying could get along with my kids.
I get along with your kids.
Hold on a second.
I don't get along with you.
Stop, Mr. Wetzel. Let me hear this theory. How old are your children?
13 years old and 5.
13 and 5. And you asked their permission before you married this man?
Yeah.
Why? They have a whole lot of they can evaluate a man's worth to marry their wife?
They don't
their mother?
They don't have a whole lot of say, but it's if they feel like they can be open and safe around them.
Based on what would a child make that kind of determination? You couldn't make it too well. You felt okay, and look what happened.
That's true. I'm at fault for
No, I'm not saying anything about fault, but how are you going to put that type of responsibility on a 13-year-old and a 5-year-old? They don't have the capability of evaluating such.
That's true.
What knowledge, what sense?
I just asked my kids for their blessings, so to speak. I wasn't asking for their approval. I was asking for their blessings.
Oh, that sounds a little better. Because I don't think children should be forced to make that type of determination one way or the other. We don't, adults don't do too well at it with all the divorces.
Obviously, I did really lousy at it.
Yeah.
Why? And you want to keep that ring?
Mm-hmm.
But you have somebody else, don't you?
No, my 2 kids. That's all I've got.
What about this man that you had the affair with?
He was a one-night stand and a mistake.
Oh, and that was another mistake.
Yeah.
You didn't talk to the kids about it before you did it?
No. He was a big mistake. Because I found out that I still, at that time, loved him and was willing to work on it. But obviously, feelings weren't mutual, so.
Well, what have I just been telling you? I don't want this marriage to end.
Here's what I'm saying. She says, I'm willing to work on it. You said I'm willing to work on it. Then why are you people standing here? Why don't you go to some counseling?
We've tried. It don't work.
One time.
He's blown up, and I'm tired. I'm tired of the physical abuse, the mental abuse.
I pushed you once. That ain't no physical abuse.
I'm tired of my having.
Excuse me, sir. Pushing her once is physical abuse.
I'm tired of having my kids walk on eggshells and everything else.
Stop, Ms. Wetzel. Yes, it is. That's one time too many. It is physical abuse. What you think you have to do? Bang her head against the wall before you call it physical abuse?
What does she have to do? What about my feelings on the emotional?
I'm not talking about your feelings.
I told her to get out of my face and leave me alone. Just to back off?
Yeah, because I was standing between you and my kid.
Your kid wasn't even in the picture. It was me and you.
No, my son was in.
You're making me feel like the bad guy, and that's BS.
Mr. Wetzel.
I want this marriage to work.
My son was in between.
Yeah, because he couldn't keep his big nose out of it.
Joe,
he's got to cut everything.
You're like Jekyll.
Maybe he'll hear you.
You got to talk to the judge.
Okay.
That's who you're talking to. I don't have to take you out here, okay?
No problem.
Okay.
I've given 110% to this marriage, Your Honor.
What did Joe just tell you? You can't make a marriage work and tell somebody I want a marriage to work by yelling and screaming and getting. I'm talking to you.
She's the one that goes ballistic.
You just got ballistic trying to tell her
I'm tired of being everything my fault. It wasn't my fault. I didn't make her spread her legs for somebody else while I wasn't there. I didn't make her not want to have this relationship work. You know? I've given 110% to this marriage. I waited 38 years to get married. And she does that to me.
That's why you shoved me.
That's why you spread your legs for somebody else.
Kids.
That's the main problem here.
You know,
that's the main thing.
You're like,
you have no idea what the vows of marriage mean. They're a sacred sanctity of marriage, and you broke your word to God and to our friends and family.
And Mr. Wetzel, and you have no idea what a court of law means.
Yes, ma'am, I do. And I apologize. Please accept my apology.
But what I'm saying to you is that's not the way you're going to ever have any person want to be in your presence when you're yelling and screaming like that. I know you're hurting behind it.
I'm very hurt. I was devastated.
38 years, that is. First marriage for you?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the third, and everybody says third time's charm. Well, obviously not.
This is your third marriage?
Yes, ma'am.
Obviously, third time's not a charm, and there
well,
won't be a
I'm with
fourth.
Mr. Wetzel. If you've been the formula 3 times around, you have to start asking yourself, whose fault is it? Mine?
Bad choice. I've been too nice is my problem.
Oh, yeah.
Too nice. Too
nice which way?
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict. And an update on the case of Carolyn Baldwin versus DeMarcus Baldwin.
She should be proud about that.
Proud to bring a child into the world that the father's not going to be anywhere around doing anything for him?
Now, she should be proud that it was me and not nobody else.
Please.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court is back and the verdict is in the case of James Wetzel, who says he waited 38 years to get married, only to have his wife cheat on him after 8 months.
Well, back in the matter of James Wetzel versus Lisa Wetzel. This is a very interesting case because of these facts. The debt for the ring was incurred before the marriage, which makes it your separate obligation, Mr. Wetzel.
I realize this.
And therefore, you're the one responsible for the balance on this obligation to the finance company. However, since it's an object that's secured by the ring, a debt that's secured by the ring, and if you were to turn the ring back in, you could be relieved of this obligation.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's not paid for, and the marriage is over. Ms. Wetzel, you can pay for the ring, or you can give the ring to Mr. Wetzel so he can give it back to the finance company.
I'll just give it back to him. He can do whatever.
Take the ring off.
Well, there goes the good times.
Mr. Wetzel, you going to turn that ring back in?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's the order of the court. So ordered.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Carolyn Baldwin versus DeMarcus Baldwin.
Children are a gift.
She should be proud about that.
Proud to bring a child into the world that the father's not going to be anywhere around doing anything for him?
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. When DeMarcus found out that his wife Carolyn was pregnant with his child, he walked out on her.
Did you want any more children?
No.
If he didn't want it, he knew what he should have done.
Or you could have used a condom.
Why should I have to wear a condom when we married?
Children are a gift.
She should be proud about that.
Proud to bring a child into the world that the father's not going to be anywhere around doing anything for him?
Now, she should be proud that it was me and not nobody else.
Please.
Carolyn was struggling to build a life for herself and her child as a single mother, and she came to court to get back the furniture she and DeMarcus had shared.
Why should I leave it there and then she go on with her life and then it's mine and her new whatever comes in and he got to sit on it? And they shouldn't work like that. I should be able to take it with me.
The judge decided that Carolyn would benefit most from the furniture and awarded it to her.
I am not going to take the bed from her, and I can't believe that you're asking me to do that. The least she could have is a bed and give her the dignity of having a nice place to sleep.
A week after appearing in court, Carolyn gave birth to a premature but healthy baby. Carolyn says DeMarcus hasn't seen her or his child at all, and she thinks they're both better off that way.
Judge's decision was okay. It wasn't fair because those brought, good memories, but it's the judge.
I think it's fair. I mean, why should you keep it? She broke all the vows of the marriage.
No, I'll never ever get married again. I'll live with him, but I'm never getting married again.